And we are live. And we are live. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Welcome, welcome, welcome to this brief pop-up conversation, or it will be a conversation if you have any questions, if you happen to be watching it live, otherwise it'll be a monologue, but our brief sharing on essential oils for anxious times. And I'm going to share my screen so that I can show you some of these beautiful oils. There we go. All right. So it has been a minute since I have been live in this group doing any type of essential oil class, something that I used to do all the time. And I really would like to kind of bring some new information to you and some additional information to you in the coming months. I had someone ask me the other day, are you still using the oils? And I said, oh my gosh, yes, I use them in business coaching. They are great for energetic and emotional support. I use them in every aspect of my life, and I just get so entrenched in it, I sometimes forget to talk about it. So I wanted to come on today and give a brief overview of how you can create some essential oil practices during anxious times. And we are living in kind of some anxious times just worldwide, nationally, globally, and perhaps just, you know, locally and domestically in your own lives. You may feel that it's kind of a unsettling period of time right now. I know I have. Every time I look at the news, I feel like I am once again just feeling a little bit anxious. So essential oils are a way that I support myself when I'm feeling like that. So even though this is a brief class or workshop, anytime during the day, you can take that moment to pause and slow down and just breathe, get centered, get present, relax. For this experience, you might want to grab a notebook, take a couple of notes. And of course, our mindset is the universal driver for everything that happens in our life. So to absorb some of this information, just kind of put everything behind for just a few minutes to listen in or to watch this at a later time. So why essential oils? I have been using essential oils since 2014, and I have been in the health and wellness field in different areas for over 30 years. But when essential oils kind of came onto my radar, I realized that they were such powerful tools. And I started to use oils from doTERRA. So anything I share today with respect to essential oils is really only applicable for pure quality tested oils. And that is not the case with so many oils out there, especially if you buy them on Amazon or something like that. Even doTERRA oils on Amazon do not come from doTERRA. So be sure that you're buying quality oils. But what I learned is that they were safe. And so I was able to use a more natural solution than at the time I was taking Advil multiple times a day. And I realized I actually could manage physical symptoms with essential oils. So they were safe, they were effective, they worked. They are affordable because every single oil can be used for so many different purposes. Today, I'm only focusing on supporting ourselves through times where we're feeling anxious, but every oil that I mentioned today can be used for multiple uses. And we always have plenty of education to help you understand what are the, 30 other ways I can use that bottle of lemon, for example. They're accessible. So when we use an oil, I mean, I have them in my purse, in my gym bag, in my car, and all over my house. So it's just super easy to have. I don't have to worry about, like having some kind of big production in order to use them. They're just right there. They're simple. They're efficient. They work very fast. And I feel like they're empowering because I can take control of my own well-being, physically, mentally, spiritually, energetically, and that makes me feel empowered. So there are 3 ways that you can use essential oils during anxious times or any time, and I'm going to touch upon them briefly, and some daily rituals or practices that you can use. You can use the oils aromatically, which is, if you can see me in the corner of the screen, I just did that with my wild orange, which we'll talk about in a moment. I just put it in my hand and inhaled. Super simple. Or I could just open the bottle and pacify under my nose and inhale. Or I can use a diffuser, which I've got one set up in my office back there, and I've got them in multiple rooms in my home. You can use them topically. I'll be talking about this little gem, Balance, and I can just put it on my wrist braces. And you can use them internally, and we'll talk a little bit more about that when we get to that. But I do use oils internally because I'm using doTERRA pure quality oils that are therapeutic grade and extensively tested. And not every single oil can be used internally, but if you look carefully on the label, you will know which ones. Most can. Most straight oils can. That's not typically the case with the blends, but again, the information is right there for you. So when we feel like we are in the midst of anxious times, whether we looked at the news and we see what might be going on across the world, or we have something happening in our own home that just makes us feel unsettled and anxious, the primary question that is often at play is feeling like we do not have control. So I do not have control about a war going on across the pond. I do not have control about with the economy. I don't have control about so many things. But what do I do when I feel like I need some control? What do I do when I feel like I need to get a sense of calm? So inhaling an essential oil, which is the first way I talked about that you can use them aromatically, is one way that you can get calm. And our sense of smell is actually 10,000 times stronger than any other sense. 10,000 times stronger. So when you think about getting a whiff of something that brings you back to a childhood memory, maybe it's like chocolate chip cookies baking, or maybe it's fresh cut grass, you inhale a scent and it brings you back to a memory. And memories are attached to emotions, right? It gives you a feeling. So most memories will conjure up a feeling. So one way we can get calm is by inhaling an essential oil. And I also have this image of writing in here as well, because asking yourself, what do I need to feel a sense of safety? And this is a great question to ask yourself. What do I need to feel safe? And to just journal, kind of free write. Maybe I need a hug. Maybe I need to call a friend. Maybe I need to go and sit in the backyard. Maybe I need to ground by taking my shoes off and just standing on the beach. I'm blessed to live near the beach, but I also can ground in my own backyard and just take off my shoes and stand in the grass. So asking yourself, what do I need to feel safe? So some wonderful oils that I love for aromatic use, for feeling safe during anxious times. Our wild orange is a classic. That's the one I just took a whiff of before I was starting this call or this video. And wild orange is bright and citrusy and uplifting. I love pairing it with peppermint. And so that is something I can just, again, put a drop in my hand. I'm going to do it again just now, even though you don't need much, because these oils from doTERRA are so potent. I can put a drop of wild orange, I can add some peppermint, and I can inhale. And I've just got my own personal diffuser right here. I don't need anything else. And it goes automatically right into the brain, to that part of the brain that manages our emotions, and it can shift that in an instant. I also love Citrus Bloom. It's a great blend for the same purposes. Breathe is a doTERRA blend. It's got all kinds of great things like eucalyptus in there. And I love that also in the diffuser for aromatic benefits when I'm feeling unsettled or stressed. Breathe does just what the name suggests. It helps you breathe deeply. It helps you take a breather. It's associated with the lungs and with where grief is associated there too. Grief lives there. So it really helps with that. Cheer is, again, as the name suggests, a blend that is very uplifting. So any of these blends, and I will also, on a side note, mention that the oils I'm going to share today are just a tiny drop in the bucket, right? There are so many other oils that I could use in an aromatic way that could help me when I am feeling unsettled or anxious. But I don't want to overwhelm you with your top, 65 choices. I am just focusing on a couple of oils here. And that's what I always recommend with people when they start out with essential oils. And that is just start, with your basic, crew of oils to get started and get using them, make them part of your daily ritual and routine. And then you can add on and expand. I have well over 100 oils now, right? But I only started out with 10 of them. And that's what got me into the practice of it. So these are some great oils that you can use for aromatic support when you are feeling like you need some calming. Also, wood oils are great oils for grounding. So if you think of a tree, the tree trunk, the roots of the trees going into the earth, and it's very grounding. So when we use an wood oil, it really helps to also ground us emotionally. So I like some wood oils. Obviously, I can put them in the diffuser as well. But I love some of these blends, which do have some earthy and woody tones in them, among other scents. These are 3 blends. Balance is probably, where's my balance? Right here, is probably one of my all-time favorite. It's people ask all the time, what's your favorite oil? You just can't pick. I just can't pick. I love so many of them, and I love them for different things, and I love them at different times. And it's kind of like food. I wouldn't want to eat the same thing every day. It kind of depends on what I'm in the mood for. So Balance is a grounding blend. And what I like to do with Balance is use it in a topical way. Of course, it'd be lovely in the diffuser, but I like to use it topically on the bottoms of my feet, my heart space, and my wrist creases. You can use it other places too, wherever you feel called. If you feel like you just need a little dab on the base of your skull, that's a great place to get oils going right into the brain. Then you go with your intuition there. Northern Escape is another great blend that I like for topical use. You can put that on the bottoms of your feet also. It just feels like you're in the forest when you smell that. And it can be used topically, again, for calming. And then finally, Adaptiv. This is a real gem. that came out a couple of years ago with doTERRA, and Adaptiv is our calming blend. So, as the name says, and it is another one that has, I think there's some wood. I'm not even sure. I can't see without my glasses what all of the oils are in here. There are many. I know lavender is one of them. So there are some florals in here as well. Spearmint. It's kind of a combination of floral, spearmint, can be a little everything, but it's also a great oil for topical use when you are in need of calming. And topically, you can use an oil wherever you feel called, but here on the bottom of this screen are some of my favorite places to use an oil. So as far as topically, so those are some great practices. The oils can really help give you a sense of comfort. And that is what you can see the Adaptiv oil in the photo there. I'm just checking to see, I have some, questions or some comments in the chat. Jenna is listening. Hey, Jenna. Hey, friend. I love seeing your face on social media too, but I wish I was seeing it in person more. And then we have the fabulous Esmeralda listening. So thank you, ladies, for joining me live. But Adaptiv is a way to feel comforted. It truly is amazing. There's actually an entire Facebook group that is about Adaptiv testimonials. That's what a powerhouse this is. So, and you can see the tiny little diffuser there. There's all kinds of diffusers. I have that little one in my bathroom. So there's always a mood that I am trying to create in the various rooms of my house. So what do I need to feel comfort? That's another question. Earlier, I shared the question, what do I need to feel safe? What do I need to feel comfort? Right. And this is when we truly tune into what our body is needing, what our body is craving, when we really listen to the messages. We start to trust our intuition. Look at that. On the bottom of the screen, it says, I trust my intuition. I didn't even plan on that. That's a little serendipity for you there. What do I need to feel comfort? And so for me, I will gravitate towards some of these oils. So because I have used things like Balance and Adaptiv in order to calm myself and support myself and ground myself, when I sit and think and reflect on this question, what do I need to feel comfort? That is often what comes to me. And I'll be transparent that I sometimes in my most challenging and overwhelming times of stress or discomfort or like having a meltdown, I forget to grab my oils. It's often when I need them the most. Do you ever have that happen when you just kind of like lose all perspective of your tools and all that you've learned when you're really in like the heat of the moment? I had this recently with some, really difficult, challenging things personally. And I just forgot to even use oils that day. And so the next day when I asked myself, what do I need to feel comfort during this time in my family? And I thought, oh yes, Balance, Adaptiv, like get them on me, put them in the diffuser, put them on my body. So let's talk briefly about using oils internally for support. So because I know of the purity of doTERRA, I feel quite confident in using the oils internally. And there are also a variety of supplements that are in a capsule form that can be used if someone does not want to use a straight oil. So I will absolutely do something like put some frankincense under my tongue or something like that. And Copaiba or Copaiba, depending on depending on where you're from, I guess, is another wonderful oil to use in terms of calming and soothing internally. It's to be honest, it's not my favorite tasting oil, so I would go probably just using this topically on my body, but I love this oil. But you could put it in water, you could put it in under your tongue, but I like to use the soft gels. So you can use the oil internally, or you can choose to use a soft gel. Adaptiv is another one that, while you can't take the oil internally, Adaptiv, we've got the Adaptiv soft gels, and these are a must-have in my medicine cabinet, because when I have a lot of stress, you can absolutely perfectly safe to take these daily. I use them more as needed. So when I need like an extra extra dose of calm and grounding, I will take the Adaptiv soft gels. Or if I had trouble sleeping, then I will take them, you know, if I've had like a bad night's sleep. I use oils for sleep all the time. And I typically will take 2 Copaiba soft gels actually before I go to sleep. So that is definitely a calming option for me. So this is just really a way for you to stop and take a big breath. Using the essential oils is a way for a pause to come into your day, for a reminder to take a breath. And the oil, because it connects with your olfactory system, becomes an anchor to do just as this photo suggests, is to just stop, pause, open up, expand, and breathe. And when we anchor it in with a scent, it makes that practice even more powerful. So here's an example of what a typical day could look like in a daily practice with oils to support you during anxious times. Putting wild orange and peppermint in my diffuser in the morning. Love it. And I would probably add having them handy to take a drop of each in my hands in the afternoon as a pick-me-up. Putting a drop of Breathe on my heart, Balance on the bottoms of my feet, and Adaptiv on my wrist creases. Another beautiful practice. So as you see, the first suggestion with the wild orange and peppermint is a way for me to use them aromatically. The second is a way for me to use these oils topically. And this is just a recommended or suggested idea. You could actually take any one of those and just use the one. You could just take Balance and put it on the heart, feet, wrist creases. I just was sharing you an example of how I might use it. So we've got aromatic, topical, and finally we have internally. So I would take either the Copaiba oil and or capsule and an Adaptiv capsule as needed internally. That's a way to support myself internally from the inside out. And then finally, one I had mentioned is Serenity in the diffuser in the evening. So Serenity is, again, as the name would suggest, is just a way to create a serene feeling in the bedroom as you are going to sleep at night. And I don't know about you, but I can have a very crazy monkey mind at night that can potentially challenge me in falling asleep. And having that Serenity in the diffuser is a way to take it down a little bit. So this is an example of a daily practice. And as I said in the start, it is accessible. You just need like little pouch of oils. It's accessible, it's simple, it works immediately. It works once you inhale. Once you inhale or put it on your skin or ingest it, it begins working immediately within like, you know, minutes. It can start working. And so it's just a very practical, in my opinion, way to support myself. So if you have any questions, you can either drop them in the chat if you're watching this in the Rhythm and Radiance Facebook group, and I will respond to them. If you are already a doTERRA customer and you use oils, perhaps you got a couple of suggestions of oils you may not have used or ways that you can use them. And if you are purchase some oils and you're just like letting them collect dust, or if you have some new health challenges or wellness goals that you're working with, feel free to text me at this number and let me know. And we do a complimentary wellness consultation, not just for people who are considering getting essential oils for support or who are experimenting or curious, but also our current customers always are welcome to have updated wellness consultations, certainly at no charge, just to make sure that you are fully getting the benefits from your oils. So if you're brand new to oils or you're curious, well, before I mention that, here is an affirmation that I use all the time that I'd like to pair with my oils. So everything is always working out for me. So if you anchor that with one of your scents, one of your essential oils, and just take a moment to pause and repeat that. This is a line I repeat to myself often, often, all the time, some days, all day. So, whoops, went backwards. So if you are new to oils and you are thinking like, this is very interesting, what we talked about today, and you want to try some, this is a great package. Everything's already put together and it includes almost everything I talked about today. The one thing in this package that I did not talk about is the On Guard blend. You can see that there in sort of the reddish color next to the wild orange. And On Guard is an immune support. So On Guard's been our best friend the last 2.5 years, let's be honest, folks. I've used On Guard in every single form: oil, soft gel, cleaning products, hand sanitizer, you name it. So while I don't think of On Guard first and foremost when I think about oils that I support myself with during anxious times, I am never without On Guard. So definitely a must-have in my toolbox. And the oil that I mentioned briefly that is not in here is Copaiba or Copaiba. It's something you absolutely could add to this package if you wanted to. And the other thing that is not in here is the Adaptiv soft gels, but the oil is here. So you could simply start to use the Adaptiv in an aromatic and topical way. And then if you felt that you had a stronger need, you could go for the capsules for the soft gels for internal use. And then of course, there is this lovely diffuser that's included in this package also. And this package is called the Aroma Essentials Kit. And I love it because it gets you started with just diffusing oils all the time in your home. And one thing I say all the time is everybody in the home benefits whether they like it or not. So even if they are not on board with experimenting with some different scents, they will benefit just from being in the room. So with that kit, you get 25% off anything else you purchase over the next year because it is a membership account, just like a Costco account, but there's no purchase that is required ongoing. However, if you do purchase ongoing, you will get reward points and lots of free products. I love getting my free products every month. You will always get an individual wellness consultation and updated consultations as needed or as requested. And of course, ongoing education and support from our doTERRA community and our team. And doTERRA has just endless information out there to help support us. So that's what's included with the purchase of that kit. I will include the link if you wish to grab one of those in the comments below this video in the Facebook group, or if you're receiving the recording, I will put a link in the email. And that is, let me just check our Facebook group to see if there are any other questions. Oh, Esmeralda, very interested in Adaptiv. Oh my gosh, I can't say enough good things about Adaptiv. It is so great. And there is actually an Adaptiv kit, which includes the oil, the roller oil in a roller ball format as well, and the soft gels. So you can just buy a whole Adaptiv kit, which is fun too. But I wanted to keep it super simple. So I wanted to share this one particular kit with you today. So I will put the link on how to get that kit in the comments and in the email that will be going out. And I will put a second link where you can add, which will have added the Copaiba and the soft gels just in case. All of these links can be changed. You can open the link and say, you know what, I don't want the soft gels. I'm going to take them out of my cart. So you can customize or add other products if you'd like. The one thing you can't do though is sort of disassemble the kit that I just showed. That kind of comes as a package. So you can't kind of piecemeal it together. You can piecemeal the products together, but then it would not be at that same price. So you get a little bit of a savings by bundling it. So that is what is happening today. I think I was able to do it in exactly 30 minutes. So thanks for watching. And I really appreciate you. And I'll also just mention, as I said, I used to do a lot of classes in this group. It's one reason I created this Facebook group, so that we could have a closed group to do lives without, random people scrolling through them. And so if you'd like to see more of that and bring more of that back, please comment below and let me know. And if you have something specific you want to hear about related to essential oils, or any of the other work I do, which is really helping you create new rhythms in your life, in your body, in your day, in your business, and living a life that's truly by design. So thank you so much for watching, and have a beautiful day, and take good care.